Hello everyone. In our previous lesson, we have learned how to convert rectangular coordinates to polar coordinates. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn how to convert polar coordinates to rectangular coordinates. And we have only 4 problems. Don't forget to like, comment, and share to other people. Let's get started. One thing you should always remember is a polar coordinate is represented by what? R, theta. R here is the radial distance. So 4 here represent our radius and this is our angle, right? But in rectangular, we use X and Y to represent every single coordinate. But what is the relationship between X, Y with this R and theta? Remember, X is the same thing as R multiplied by cosine of that angle. And Y is the same thing as R multiplied by sine of that angle. So you can simply use this formula to convert from polar to rectangular coordinates, as simple as that. So let's get started with the first one. You can see we have R and theta here. So therefore the coordinate will be R, which is 4, multiplied by cos theta, and theta is pi over 3, comma, 4 again, multiplied by sine of what? Pi over 3. Simplify and get your final answer, as simple as that. So the question is, what is cosine of pi over 3? Remember, pi over 3 is 60 degrees. So you can either use 60 degrees or pi over 3. We know that cosine of 60 degrees is 1 over 2. So we have 1 over 2 times 4. That is half of 4 is 2, right? So this is 2, comma. What is sine of 60 degrees or pi over 3? It is square root of what? 3 divided by 2. And if you take square root of 3 divided by 2, you multiply that by 4 because we have 4 here. 2 will go into 4 exactly 2 times. So you end up having 2 root 3. So you have 2 root 3 right here. So the rectangular coordinate is 2, 2 root 3. As simple as that. Let's move to the other side. We have our coordinate to be 4 multiplied by cosine of 150 degrees. Then 4 again multiplied by sine of 150 degrees. 150 degrees is in the second quadrant, and in the second quadrant cosine is negative, but we can assume we are in the first quadrant by using a reference angle, because 150 is 30 degrees less than 180, right? So we can use 30 degrees. Remember, if this is 150, the reference will be what? 30 degrees. So you can use 30 degrees. It depends on the sign. If it is sine, we know it will remain positive in the second quadrant, but cosine will be negative because x-axis is negative. So what is cosine of 30 degrees? Cosine of 30 degrees is square root of 3 divided by 2. And if you take square root of 3 divided by 2, you multiply by 4, that will give you 2 root 3. But remember, cosine is negative in the second quadrant, so this will be negative 2 root 3, comma. What is sine of 150 degrees? You can take sine of 30 degrees, which is 1 over 2. Even in the second quadrant, it will remain positive. So you multiply that by 4, you're going to get exactly 2. So we have 2 right here. So you can see that the rectangular coordinate is negative 2 root 3, 2. Then coming down here, we have root 2 multiplied by cosine of what? 5 pi over 4, comma, root 2 again, sine of 5 pi over 4. You can see that pi over 4 is our reference angle. Remember, what is cosine of pi over 4? Both sine and cosine of pi over 4 will give us what? Root 2 divided by 2. So if you are at 45 degrees, you have root 2 divided by 2, comma, root 2 divided by 2. But what is the position of this angle? This angle is located in the third quadrant here. So in the third quadrant, all of them are what? They are all what? Negative, right? This is negative, this is negative. So what we need to do is to multiply by root 2. So if you take this, because we have r before cosine and sine. So you can multiply each by root 2. Root 2. Root 2 times root 2 will give you 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. But in the third quadrant, remember, all of them are negative. So this becomes negative 1, comma, negative 1. Should I explain again? All right. 5 pi over 4 is located here. But pi over 4 is a reference angle, which is 45 degrees. So you can use your reference angle always. Both cosine and sine of pi over 4 will give you root 2 over 2. But if you are in this quadrant, there will be negative root 2 over 2 each. Negative root 2 over 2 each. Right? That is for cosine and sine. But remember, you have to multiply by r, and r is root 2. So if you multiply this by root 2, it will be negative 1. You multiply the other coordinate by root 2, it will be negative 1. So you can see that this is your polar coordinate, while this is the rectangular coordinate. Coming down to the last one. 300 degrees is in the fourth quadrant here. Cosine is positive, while sine is negative. So you can use the reference angle, which is 60 degrees. So what is cosine of 60 degrees? It's 1 over 2. So let me write first. 2 cosine of 300 degrees, comma 2 sine of 300 degrees. So if you start with cosine of 300 degrees, you can use 60 degrees as reference, which is supposed to be here. And we know that cosine of 60 degrees is 1 over 2. And 1 over 2 times 2 is 1. Yeah, remember it is still positive in the fourth quadrant. Then you take sine of 60 degrees, which is square root of 3 divided by 2, right? Then you multiply by 2. This 2 will go, leaving only root 3. But this root 3 should be considered in the fourth quadrant. And in the fourth quadrant, it should be negative, because y-axis is negative. So this is negative root 3. So you can see that we are able to transform this from a rectangular, from polar coordinate to rectangular coordinate, as simple as that. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye.